Well, I hope that that little piece gave you some idea of what you can expect next year should you decide to have your student participate in the free SAT prep classes. And I keep saying this, but I just want to stress to the parents and the students out there that, you know, we've talked before on this program about how expensive these test prep materials usually are. I mean, the whole industry is, I mean, those books are like $100. So if you want to have your student participate next spring, just keep watching and we'll tell you the exact dates and times and locations. And again, all you'll have to do is give us a call and sign up. We'll have your student register. They'll get a free book and dinner and the best free prep for their SATs. So, having said that, we want to move on to our next segment, and we've been joined by some of Delaware's finest.
Yes.
And they're going to be talking to us about Noble, and I'll let them introduce themselves and tell us a little bit about Noble. Gentlemen, thank you so much for joining.
Yes, thank you and welcome.
Good evening.
So I think we'll just go right around and have you all introduce yourselves.
Okay. I'm Lieutenant Vincent Shipman with the University of Delaware Police.
All right.
I'm Captain Vaughn Bond, Newcastle County Police.
I'm Anthony Harris, Wilmington Police.
Sergeant Bernard Miller with the Delaware State Police.
And our own Doc Bridget.
Good evening.
Once again. Thank you.
He's cross-border police. He takes care of everything.
I know, right? So tell us a little bit about Noble and the background and what it stands for, please.
NOBLE stands for the National Organization of Black Law Enforcement Executives. Established in 1976, a group of officers, law enforcement executives, got together in Washington, D.C. and wanted to address some urban issues involving crime, of course, in low-income neighborhoods. And from there, it spawned different chapters throughout the country, NOBLE executives, and actually, I believe they're international as well. There are groups throughout the world that are law enforcement executives. The Delaware chapter basically, which I've been for a number of years, we take officers from all different ranks, not just the higher ranking officers, but we just want officers that are interested in helping out the community and growing in their profession.
Oh,
In what ways does a participating officer help out?
Well, basically, we do a lot of training and community outreach. And we'll talk a little bit about that later on in the program, but that's one of our primary goals, is to train up and help officers grow again in their career fields and career in law enforcement, and then also do community outreach.
Now, before we go ahead.
okay. I wanted to ask a question. You guys are absolutely a valuable resource. Have people within the department, reached to you in terms of diversity issues when dealing with the community? Have they drawn from your expertise and experience?
I think at some point in time, folks do want to tap on your experience and look at what you can bring to help build up your organization.
Yes.
But then they want to touch base with you. They want to look at you and say, hey, how can you help your community out?
Yep.
I mean, not to say it's just your community,
Right.
but people identify with you no matter what how your makeup.
Yes.
And then you just build on that. So I think that does happen. Yes.
That's good. That's good to know.
Now, as we go into this interview, I want to apologize in advance because I'm just going to say Mr. Bond. I know you have like titles or officer or sergeant. Is it okay? What should we say?
You call me Vince.
Vince? Okay.
Vaughn.
Vaughn? Okay.
All right.
So tell us a little bit about your involvement, Vaughn.
Well, I started back active with Noble about a year ago or so. As a younger officer, I probably with 5 or 6 years on the department, I was introduced to Noble. However, at that time, maturity-wise, I didn't look at it as something that I was going to stay involved with. I think that at that time I was really, focused in on doing the police work, and I really didn't have a full understanding about everything that Noble could bring to the table. So I kind of didn't get involved with the agency, with Noble. But then as time went on, I started to look at it and what they had to offer, the involvement with the community, the mentoring that was going on with the younger officers, which is very important. And I felt like it was the perfect time in my career and in my life where I've grown, I've become a lot wiser, and I understand the importance of mentoring and giving back. And so I reached back out to Noble and and they were able to accept me, and I was very glad. And so since then, I've been here and actually working and doing a lot of good things. I'm very proud of the organization and everything we bring to the table.
That's
Can
wonderful.
you tell us a little bit more about the mentoring aspect?
Well, is in law enforcement, period. It's a very difficult profession.